You are watching Access LaPorte County Channel 97. Coming up next is the September 13th meeting of the Michigan City Police Civil Service Commission. You can find more information for this meeting at www.accesslaportecounty.org.
So before the meeting, we'll say the pledge of allegiance. Members to stand. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'll take a roll call. Commissioner Simmons? Here. Commissioner Kraus? Here. Commissioner Matzke are here, so we have a quorum. I'll make a motion to accept the minutes of the last meeting. Have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passed. Okay. So under old business, Leland, do we have any outstanding invoices to be paid or anything?
We only have one outstanding invoices, and that is for the test that we just ordered, and that will be paid within the next 2 or 3 weeks.
Okay.
From the city.
That's already been submitted to the controller's office?
Yes.
Okay. I don't think we have any new communications. So we'll move on to new business. Chief Worker, go ahead.
Yeah, I think we'll start out. I think we have a couple officers with us today. Captain Kevin Urbantic wanted to recognize a few of our patrolmen working patrol shift that really have gone above and beyond and pulled double duty, taking on detective bureau cases as well. So if it's all right, we'll take the opportunity to recognize the couple that could join us today, and then again we'll list the other ones here. Sure. Before. So. Sure.
Caden Gregory, Officer Fletcher, Officer Gregory, Officer Kate Fletcher, Officer Greg Williams. Please join us. Here, Thanks for coming.
Was the 13th day of September 2023 the subject of letters of commendation for outstanding service as follows? Patrol and investigative divisions have been faced with a variety of different quandaries this year that are extremely challenging. Low staffing, workload, major felony investigations, overtime hours worked, increased stress, and officer burnout are just a few of the issues that our staff currently face. Our staff has been resilient and remained positive during this very difficult time. They're willing to do whatever they can to assist others within our department and community. Many of our officers are volunteering to work extra hours on different shifts, work targeted patrols, work Summerfest events, and even be part-time detectives. Current detective staffing has been challenging, especially when compared to several years ago when the investigative division had anywhere from 7 to 10 detectives. Detectives routinely investigate all crimes ranging from misdemeanors to felonies just several years ago. And our current detectives are experiencing a workload of 2 to 3 detectives, which has caused high stress levels. This is a direct result of low staffing, increased workload, and increase in major felony investigations. A select group of officers, referred to as part-time detectives, have expressed interest with investigating a variety of different misdemeanors and felony cases this year due to the increased workload on our investigative division, which is facing the low staffing levels. These part-time detectives have graciously accepted any case assignments requested to be investigated. Harassments, invasion of privacy, leaving the scene of property damage crash, criminal mischief, theft, fraud, burglary, batteries, and domestic batteries are just some of the offenses these officers volunteered to investigate. These cases require time-consuming tasks that would normally slow down the full-time detectives. These tasks include, but are not limited to, conducting countless interviews, obtaining, reviewing video surveillance, filing and executing search warrants or subpoenas, collecting additional evidence, and making arrests. Officers who volunteer their time and effort to be part-time detectives have made a positive impact on the investigative division and community. Cases that would normally be investigated due to cases that would not normally be investigated due to shortage of full-time detectives have been investigated by these part-time detectives. These investigations conducted by part-time detectives have led to numerous criminal charges being filed against the offenders who had no regard for the law or the victims they offended. The full-time detectives have been able to focus their time and efforts on conducting major felony investigations due to the part-time detectives handling lower level criminal investigations as mentioned above. Detective Bureau Commander Kevin Urbancik is very appreciative of Officer Greg Williams, Officer Cody Wachlewski, Officer Kane Fletcher, and Officer Maximilian Hernandez.
Maximiliano.
Maximiliano.
Yeah, there you go.
They accepted the countless criminal investigations beginning this year, which greatly reduced the overall workload and stress levels of the full-time detectives who would have to manage. Their investigations, demeanor, dedication, and professionalism as part-time detectives has been remarkable. Your actions were recognized by the command staff and are in keeping with the highest standards of Michigan City Police Department. It's a great pleasure to present you with these letters of commendation.
Thank you.
Unfortunately, Officer Hernandez is he's also a part-time SRO, so he's working out at the high school today. And Cody Wachlewski couldn't make it, but we'll get these to them as soon as possible. We want to thank again Captain Urbancik for nominating them. They do a fantastic job.
Thank you guys. We appreciate everything you do.
Thank you.
So, also under new business, I'll let Bruce discuss the hiring process. I believe we have some officers in PERF. We just had a hiring date last month, and so there's some background investigations out there that are being completed.
Yes. First off, there's 6 officers or 6 individuals who went to PERF for their psychological, physical exams, for lack of a better term. Still awaiting results on that. Should get that within the next 7 to 10 days, and those who are successful will be offered conditional offers of employment, and we'll continue with the hiring process with them. The last test day we had was Saturday, the 19th of August, I believe was the day. 10 candidates were successful in the initial phases of the testing. They have been submitted for background investigations. As of today, 3 have been turned in, 1 successful, 1 not so good, and 1 we'll have to talk about.
Question.
But that's pretty normal, so we'll get that done as quick as we can, and then hopefully we can get them down to PERF and continue to bring the staffing up to a normal level. I'm not sure what normal is anymore, but how about a full staffing agenda? That would be nice. But hopefully we'll get that done. The ones from PERF, hopefully, I think we were shooting for, November at the latest, trying to get them hired, the ones who are successful. And then the other ones, hopefully before the end of the year, right?
Nice.
Yeah. Then we'll just have to discuss another testing date depending on how many officers we need, I guess. But that would, open for discussion, I guess, is the best way to put it.
Yeah, I mean, I think we could probably set a date if you guys would be willing to do that, because I think we're theoretically, right, we're looking for 11 as of today. There's a retirement in February, so that makes 12. And again, as the rest of these 7 backgrounds start to trickle in, we'll have, I would say, a number probably that with the 6 at PERF, then 9 maybe possible is not, right? So out of 15 applicants, right, traditionally we'll see probably 10 to 12, you know, hired out of that group, you know, that pass background, physical, psychological. So that's essentially probably going to exhaust our possible list,
Right.
you know, for next year. So I think we could probably, I mean, that would be up for maybe just trying to schedule one at the beginning of November if that's possible. At least maybe having a list going into 2024,
Okay.
you know, or at least have the process started on a few.
We can announce, do you want to announce that on, in the October 11th meeting?
I would say
Or do you wanna
probably,
set a
we would probably want to announce before that. That way we could probably get, you know, 5 to 6 weeks of advertisement and, you know, maybe possibly work on with Goodwill again on doing some of those study sessions. I think that helped out. You know, we saw a decent turnout.
Yeah,
And
last time.
actually passed the written test, right?
Yeah.
There was a couple that failed, I know that, but there was only one that actually took advantage of those study sessions and didn't pass. So, you know, we probably want to set that up again, try to help, you know, people put their best foot forward. So, yeah, I mean, November, I would say November, maybe November 4th. You know, we talked about November 11th, but that's Veterans Day, so
Yeah.
I don't know if we want to impede on that. The 18th, I think we're getting too close to the holiday, so
Yeah.
November 4th would probably be ideal if that would work for you.
Works for me.
Yeah. Good. Good. And we will have a better idea, like you said, of the numbers from this last group
By
on
then.
perf and then backgrounds.
And if nothing else, we establish a waiting list, right? A hiring list, which
Yeah.
we haven't had in a while.
How many years?
Wow, so it would be nice.
Five.
It would be nice to be there, right? So,
That would be nice, yes.
So move on to probationary officer reports with Corporal Costigan.
I got a lot. Probationary officer report. The following 5 officers I'd like to congratulate for completing their first year. As of August 22nd, would be Officer Boots, Officer Dobrowski, Officer Middleburg, Officer Santoro, and Officer Tillman. And then the next group would be Officer Bartek, Officer Francisco, and Officer King. They're all finishing up phase 2. They're all on schedule. They'll be starting phase 3 here towards the end of the month. And then our newest officers, Officers Fusco, Hicks, Coons, and Morales. They're all currently in pre-basic training, doing well. I have no complaints on any of them. And then Officer Miller, our lateral transfer. She's been doing good, and we're looking at getting her tested out here real soon, possibly being on her own.
is there another probationary officer, Smith, right?
And then Officer Smith and Officer Wells, they're on their own. Kind of know the city, so there's been no complaints. That's all I got.
Lieutenant? Nothing. Chief.
Yeah, obviously we took the opportunity yesterday to recognize National Women in Law Enforcement Day. Again, we just want to recognize Captain Jillian Ashley, Lieutenant Anna Painter, Sergeant Michelle Wadowski, Sergeant Melissa Sofer, Corporal Kate Bliski, Corporal Dana Henderson, Officer Zana Chavez, Officer Rachel Ewart, Officer Ashley Boots, Officer Catherine Dobrowski, Officer Taylor Tillman, and Officer Tempest Miller. Obviously for their contributions to law enforcement. It helps us obviously have a diverse group. You know, I bet you guys can relate, right? The trend in law enforcement has changed over the years, and you know we're excited to have a strong woman's presence within the department and the community. They do a phenomenal job, you know, in the different aspects that they serve. So again, just want to again thank them for their service in this law enforcement community. A few things, we finished up final installation on our Raven shot detection. Those audio devices have been installed over the last several weeks, so that's final installation has been completed on those. So we're excited to have that. Should reduce, you know, response times develop accurate location information with those. And again, those work with our Falcon cameras, and those two work in conjunction to hopefully develop, quality lead information for officers working the streets. So we're excited that those were finally installed. Let's see. New developments, right? Or I would say the north end here is going to be obviously booming here with the construction in the upcoming weeks. Something we're, I would say, planning for in the future is, expanding the department. There's going to be an influx of new residents on the north end, right, with the 11th Street, the train station, multi-purpose residential building, and then so Solas, they're have a ribbon cutting at the old police station stomping grounds there. The You Are Beautiful, they have a ribbon cutting on Friday to develop that project. Again, multi-purpose, commercial, residential building there. Again, so, we're going to see an influx of population in the north end, so, we have to obviously plan accordingly, and, obviously public safety is of the essence here. So, I want to make sure everyone's safe there. I'm sure I'm forgetting something, but I'm sure Assistant Chief Corley and Assistant Chief Cooney will clean it up for me.
Just like to, highlight our new additions to the MCPD family. We have 2 new canines that two of our handlers recently go down and start their training. They'll be there for another 5 weeks, I believe. Canine Clavo and Booby are the new 2 canines that you'll see on the streets here in the next couple of weeks. Also talking about the testing dates, and just want to give a little debrief. First of all, I want to say thank you to Goodwill, Julian Hill from Goodwill, and then Pastor Kim Williams from the Ministerial Alliance for their help with the study sessions. And then also thank you to Sergeant Oberly and to Officer Deshaun Harris for their help with the study sessions, physical fitness assessment sessions with some of the applicants. Just give you some stats. We had, they conducted over approximately 9 testing dates over a 6-week period. There was 12 students that attended. Out of those 12 students that attended, 8 of them actually came and tested. Out of those 8, 6 passed. So out of the 10 passing students, 6 of them were actually made use of or came to the study sessions, either physical fitness and the written test, or either or both of them. So it gives us about 7% passing rate of people with study sessions. I think those were a big plus for us. And then out of those 10 that actually passed the test, all 10 actually passed the physical fitness assessment. So I think that was something that's good. It was a good added bonus for us for testing dates with those students. And just wanted to add that Michigan City Police Department has a camera registry. I know we put a press release out and had talked about it a couple months ago, but if we want to circle back around, I know there's a lot of businesses out there, a lot of residents out there who do have Ring cameras or external cameras. We would like for you to register your cameras to help with investigations. We do not have access to your cameras if you register. We only have the access that you give us, and that is limited to us requesting footage. And again, you have the opportunity to say no if you don't, but again, those assists will allow investigations. As we move forward into the future, technology has become a big part of law enforcement nowadays. I mean, there's no department that does not work without technology nowadays. And I think the new neighborhood watch is the Ring camera or any type of camera, so helping us with our investigation. So again, please register your cameras with the Michigan City Police Department to help us better secure the community. Yeah, so.
A couple things. Over the calls for service for July, we had 3,632 calls for service, which is about 200 more than the month prior. We had 492 case reports taken, We had 191 arrests, 167 were adult, and 24 were juvenile. We had 19 firearms seized. We had 26 shots fired calls, which was 20 less than the month before also. Yesterday, the drug task force arrested 3 individuals that were some of our problem people regarding shots fired, and Flock and Raven were both used to apprehend them and gather evidence against them. So that's something that was very positive. That happened really quick with having that utilization of that technology. We had some sad news. Vince Bonzis, I think that's how you say his last name, I apologize, was a maintenance foreman for us for the Michigan City Police Department for 30 years. He unfortunately passed away recently. We wish his family the best while they deal with that. He was a great man. Regarding the letters of commendation, I want to thank all the officers who received those letters, and Captain Urbancic putting them in for those letters. A lot of our officers have been doing double duty, if not triple duty, regarding part-time activities that they're doing. Again, Max Hernandez is a part-time SRO, so is Kane Fletcher. You have Mark Raven works with our warrants division, and a lot of times that's on his days off to cover and help out Corporal Kennedy. Our crime suppression unit is constantly working with the drug task force, and several other officers are working in extra capacity while we deal with this shortage of personnel. They all do a fantastic job. Upcoming, we do have the Citizens Police Academy. We're accepting applications still. Lieutenant, when is that deadline for that?
That's a good question. It was next week.
Yeah, so if you still like to apply for the Citizens Police Academy, it's a great event. If you want to see the ins and outs of how our department works and how our officers function, it's a good event. There are 2 other letters of commendation that I'll present to the detectives. Sergeant Melissa Sofer and also Lieutenant Anna Hayner received letters regarding 2 different investigations that they were lead investigators on. One was for a cold case that led to a charge of murder, and then a second case as well for another murder charge that happened recently. We'll present that when they're available, either for a commission meeting or I'll present them in person, but I want to congratulate them as well for their hard work.
Commission comments, I don't have any right now.
I just echo the chief's thanks and congratulations to those officers who were recognized for letters of commendation, and all the other members of the police department are working above and beyond, as all the chiefs have mentioned. Hopefully we can rectify this shortage and give you some time off, not us, but the chiefs. And I still recognize you for your hard work. I'm sure this would be even though it's stressful now, it's definitely going to be beneficial in the future because of their experience in the various areas. And it'd be beneficial to both the department and the community. But congratulations to all of you, and keep up the good work.
I'd like to say something. As a finance person, it is amazing to hear how you're using the new software and anything has been put in place. A lot of agencies just get it and just say what they're going to do with it, but it is amazing for Michigan City Police Department to be using it and getting results out of it. So kudos to y'all for that, and keep going with it because it will help at the end of turning our crime rate around here in Michigan City. So kudos. Thank you.
Any comments from the public?
We do have our social worker, Jocelyn Colborn. I don't know if Jocelyn wants to say anything, but she will be, you'll see her around town at meetings with us, and she's spearheading our drive now to address a lot of issues, but one now is a homeless issue in the downtown area, and some of the businesses to help the homeless down there and help the businesses I guess coordinate efforts to get the right proper resources. So if there's any need, Jocelyn's available. She has an office here. She's part of this team. She can be reached here at the police department. said she's here to help address any social issues outside in the community and then also inside internally too. So I don't know if Jocelyn want to say anything.
You want me to come up there? Should I announce Cops and Bombers?
Absolutely.
Okay, hi. So on September 24th, we are doing a Cops and Bombers event for LaPorte County. So it's LaPorte County Sheriff and then LaPorte City and then MCPD. We're all getting together with at-risk youth. And it's like a fishing tournament, so MCPD will have their own team and then, so on and so forth. So it'll be a fun event. There'll be food and DJ, and yeah, it'll be a good time. So, yeah.
Thank you.
Technically, I think that's the only other member of the audience, so that's it. I'll adjourn the meeting. Our next meeting will be October 11th, 2023 at 11 a.m. here in this room. This meeting's adjourned.